Pure Pollino starts now.
Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Michelle Pollino, and you're listening to Pure Pollino. This is Culinary Culture on Thursdays. It's all about the love of food. So has the thought of opening up a restaurant ever come up in your family when you're sitting around having dinner? You and your husband, you and your sister, you and your mom, dad. Well, today on Pure Pollino, we're going to meet two families who took their dreams and made them a reality. First up, it was their mother's dream to have a hut serving the people of Los Angeles their family recipes from the Yucatan Peninsula. 3 decades, 2 locations, and a James Beard Award later, these sisters serve amazing Mexican food for the best price in the smallest place you'll ever find in LA. But it's the best. And next, we're going to have a husband and wife team that is Bestia in downtown LA. They're here to chat with us about their ultra hip downtown LA Italian restaurant. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to find out how they made their dreams come true. But first up, let us meet the ladies from the Yucatan Peninsula. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you today?
I am doing great. Good. Dora Herrera. Right? Is that how you...
Herrera?
Herrera.
Yeah, there you go.
See? It just takes me once. That's it. Once. Herrera and Margarita Herrera.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, ladies.
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us. Seriously.
We're so happy to be here.
You
Excited,
guys
in fact.
have had the restaurant. It's been over 30 years that you've been in LA.
38 come in April.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. It's really, really exciting. And we're so glad that people try it. And then keep coming back and keep coming back. We have generations.
Yes, they do keep coming back. And I'm going to tell people a little bit of background, and we'll get into how this all got started. Well, obviously, as I said, it was your mother's dream to have this little hut in L.A., and they came up, Jamie and Socorro.
Jaime and Socorro.
Jaime. I'm so American.
I know. Spanish is
So they opened this up in 1976. They started selling, I hope I say this right, cochinita pibil.
Okay, you got the
food right. Look at this.
The food right.
I get the food right, which has always been an issue, but a very happy issue for me. They did it on the east side of LA. They started selling this specialty from their hometown. And at the same time, you were sent through college at Brown University. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got a scholarship, a grant, and I took off. And then they called me and they said, guess what we did? And we got a restaurant. I'm like, you got a what?
So you were here first, and then they came?
No, we were all here. And then I went away to Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
And then they called me and said, hey, guess what we did?
Did they do that? Did they call you up?
They did. They were very excited because, it was a big investment back then for her.
Yeah.
But she was so jazzed. You could just hear the joy in her voice. Like, I'm finally going to get to do what I want. Mm-hmm. So it was really exciting.
So was this a dream, like a lifetime dream for her? Or was this one idea, she was sitting there making carne asada for you guys and said, I think I should...
No, she had, most of her life, she had thought, I really want a little place where I can bring joy to people through food. And I can, feed them, make them happy, and then we'll sit and chat. And, it happened, and people still come in for a quick burrito, and 3 hours later they're still talking to her and enjoying the feeling of being at Yuca's, which is awesome.
That has to extend to you, and I'm sure growing up, as little girls, seeing the joy that food brought to your mother and to the way she took that joy and gave to others with food. I'm sure you had to grow up with that feeling of just love.
Every weekend we'd go to the beach, the desert, anywhere, and then we'd come back and make some good food and sit around and talk about what we had done. We had friends over from high school on Sundays for breakfast. We'd play some Edie Gourmet and the Trio Los Panchos, and she'd whip up some huevos rancheros a la mexicana, just this big spread. And then we just sit down and eat and talk, and it was just always so much fun. And our friends are like, when are you going to invite me over again?
Nice.
So good, yeah.
So I heard Oprah calls your carne asada burrito the best that she's ever had.
Best burrito ever. Excuse me.
Wow. That's a heck of an
cool.
honor. That is amazing. So how exactly, from a business standpoint, before we get to the food, because the food is just amazing, And again, people come from miles to this little hut built in a parking lot. And it's just amazing. Tell me a little bit how this was planned out. Did your family say, okay, we're going to bring out a loan and put this all together? And no.
Actually, what happened is my father had an accident.
Oh.
And he got a nice chunk of money. And they sat down and they said, well, do we pay the bills or do we put it somewhere and see what grows with it? You know, like, do we make something out of this opportunity? And they decided to flip a coin and take the chance. And, you know, her business plan was, I'm going to cook, people are going to line up, we're going to be a success. That was, 3-point business plan.
Really?
Awesome.
Seriously?
Seriously, that was it. And then she found a location in Los Feliz, and it was 8 by 10 square feet. It used to be an old shoe shine shop. And she looked at it, and she loved it, and everybody told her she was crazy. And she was like, no, this is it. This is perfect. And
she's single-minded, isn't she?
She knows what she wants.
Yeah.
And she got it. And then she got more than she ever bargained for because people started writing about her and coming and, word of mouth. And then she got these awesome awards, the James Beard. And I should say we because I need to take a little credit, too.
You do. I was going to bring it up. This is a family business, right?
Mom is awesome. Sister's awesome. My aunt, Tia Pilar, is big shout out to you right now, honey. We love you.
Aww.
And she's at home. She couldn't come today. Aww. But, that was it. Like simple business plan, no market analysis, no nothing. Just this is going to do it.
Why do you think it was successful?
Well, the food, for one.
Yes.
I mean, the food is just excellent. And I think the personality. She's got a lot of love to give. People meet her, and within 5 minutes, they're calling her Mama. And so she became Mama Yucca after a while.
So Yucca's from
the Yucatan.
Yucatan. Yeah. Oops,
not the yuca that you cook and eat and enjoy. But
right. There is.
Yeah. No, it's because we're from Mérida, Yucatan.
Right. I think that it also, that passion extends when you're cooking with that kind of fervor, when you're cooking with that kind of love, and you're putting that into the dish as well.
Oh, it shows. Like, for instance, sometimes we'd have stuff that wasn't up to snuff, and people would say, well, don't worry about it. Nobody will notice. Nobody will know. And my mom goes, I would know. And I'm not serving my customers anything that I don't think is, like, super... What?
I also want to interject.
No, go ahead.
No, that one of the other reasons that Mom did what she did was because at that time all they had was Taco Bell and Del Taco. And she said these people don't know really about Mexican food. And that was one of her goals, too, to teach L.A. that Del Taco was not Mexican.
Well, that was my next question. Did you guys actually look in a business sense, say, what is the market and what is missing? Because I think that's really important when you're doing a restaurant.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she put that into...
She just saw...
At least not consciously.
Consciously,
She was just like, this is not Mexican food. I'm going to show people what it is, and I'm going to do it right. But it wasn't conscious, like, oh, they're this, that.
Right.
She's just inherently a really good...
Entrepreneur, right. Yeah. So
here's some food for
all
you
right,
guys.
we'll get to the food, but I really as far as the family and family business, what now did she just ran the kitchen? I want to know how it broke down family wise. Who did what? Because it takes a village, right? It takes a village to run a restaurant.
Okay, well, for the first week, she thought she was going to do it all herself.
Of course she did. It sounds like this one's a powerhouse.
And then she
I'm
realized,
scared of her.
As she got more and more customers, she realized she needed help. So she got my dad to come in, and he did the talking and the PR.
Right.
And then my brother came in, and he's also very, what's the word? Outgoing and
great personality.
A lot of charisma, great personality. So he stood on the sidewalk and flagged cars down and said, "Wait, we just opened up this new place. Come and try the food." And so he was like our big marketing guy.
The big marketing guy on the corner flagging people down Sunset.
And he said, come try it, and if you don't like it, we'll double your money back.
Wow.
And we thankfully never had to
That was my next question. Did you ever have to pay back?
No, never. So
I'm sure.
And then I was away at school
Wow.
learning.
Well, I was just going to
So-
say, now, did you go for business? Because if you have a business, you're in college, you have a business, did you know you were going to do this business with your family?
No, not at all. I went actually to college to learn. I didn't have a plan to have a degree I was going to get a BA, but no career like doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, anything. I just wanted to go and learn. So I studied Latin American studies, Spanish literature, a little bit of biology. I had African dancing, a big mix. But my idea was just to go and be educated and learn how to be a person. So business, I'm a business person because of my mom. By default, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but you fell into it, and you're running things.
Yeah.
And you guys are really running a great business. You just opened up a second location, right?
Yes, 7 years ago now. Yeah,
Right,
so
and
just
Just a couple years ago, 7.
and that's doing well because it's a bigger location. So we finally were able to give people breakfast, dinner, delivery, bigger catering, bigger menu. I mean,
Nice.
Before we had tacos, burritos, and tortas, and 3 kinds of meat. Now we have quesadillas, chile rellenos, enchiladas, you name it, we got it.
And Margarita, how did you get involved? Now, you got involved a little bit later or were you always involved in this business?
I was involved from the very beginning.
Okay.
But since I'm not the outgoing one in the family,
Because this is the first time we're hearing her speak on this, and we're 12 minutes into the show.
Sister.
I just did the behind the scenes,
Right.
the prepping, the having everything ready, part of the shopping. Because I was still going to school at the time, also trying to find myself, like Dora.
Right.
So all my free time was helping out at the restaurant, and I would come in, do my homework, and then start helping out. But I did not want to be up front.
And you still don't want to be up front.
And I still don't want to be up front.
This is what she told my mom and dad. I'm so glad you got a business. I wish you lots of success. I have my own job. In other words, don't call me.
What did you do? What did you do?
Well, after I was done with schooling, I started working for a large chain of supermarkets, and I did that for 30
you were
years.
still in the food business then?
Yes, I was still in the food business, but not actually physically involved in it, which is,
Right.
totally different. It's harder to do prep work and the shopping and, get everything ready than just selling the stuff.
Right. Yeah. But now you pretty much do. She's been, I'd say, instrumental, you would say, in doing a couple of the new things that you're doing?
Dora and I come up with new recipes. We also complement each other with marketing, doing the hard work of the business, the bookkeeping, all that paperwork.
So here's what happened.
This is why I love family businesses.
We were doing well, and came up and she said, I've been hearing about this woman that kickstarts, to get bigger business. And I looked at it and I said, well, it sounds a little expensive. And she goes, well, I already bought it. And I'm like, oh, well, in that case, I love it. When do we start? So we signed up for this business seminar, and through that, we've learned a little bit about marketing, PR, organization, 120-day plans. I mean, for us, it was like, what are we going to do next week? So now we're like into 2-year plans and just bigger. I mean, thinking bigger. And because of this education that we're getting, it's never too late to learn, by the way. We're just coming up with all these fabulous ideas. We're like, for instance, I connected with Secret City Tours, and we're going to do a Yucas tour of LA.
This we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Okay, later. Okay.
Right. Because I really love what you're about to start
we
in
are
December.
so excited about all
I
this
am
stuff.
so excited, and I want to be a part of it because I
Okay.
think it's so amazing.
You're on the bus.
Oh, yeah. I'm on the bus. Pure Pollino is on the bus, yo. So what do you think about, what are the pros and cons about family-run businesses, restaurants? Pros.
I think it's all consuming your time.
Right.
So, you make plans and then something happens and you have to put your plans on the side and
Right.
take care of business.
Right.
But other than that, it's been an adventure for the last 38 years, keeping up with mom and what she's doing and her customers.
I would imagine it would, Like, I couldn't imagine my family and I doing a business together. We'd kill each other. So
There are times that, that there's like World War III going
Right.
on in the house, but I think because of how my mom brought us up, we worked through our differences and the changes, and we work off each other's strengths.
That's really great.
It works for us.
Yeah, and my mom was the head. So we could argue it, and then she would say, "No, I don't care what you guys said. We're
This is
gonna
the
do
bottom
this.
line."
This is the bottom line." So knowing that, we were free to interject ideas, thoughts. Can we change this? Can we? No. I was like, okay, thanks, Mom.
Man, she scares
you
me.
know. No, but
She's great. She's the
she
kind.
was always the head honcho. She's the queen. We call her the queen of Los Feliz.
Yes.
So whatever the queen wants, and you try to make the kingdom or the queendom better, but you have to ask permission,
Wow.
And so it was always really cool that we could think up things and do things like events or whatever, and she'd either like it or not. And
Well, it's really very
good.
interesting because I think it provides structure, and I think when you're doing any kind of business, you have to have a person, a final person in that business to say yay or nay. And when people start businesses, especially restaurants, and there's a few people involved, it comes down there. They begin to fight.
you can't
and-
run a restaurant with democracy,
Right. You
It's-
cannot.
You gotta
Some-
have a head.
I agree with that totally, and that was one of my last questions. You have to have a person in charge at the end of the day, the person that says this is how it's going
Yeah.
to be.
Buck stops here.
Buck stops here. So let's talk about the food.
Okay. Yay.
But we're going to talk about the food right after the break. So when we come back, Pure Pollino talking food from Yucca's right here on Pure Pollino. The Yucatan Peninsula with Yucca's owners, Dora and Margarita Herrera.
Oh, you did that good.
I did. I was practicing. I was practicing during the break. So what is special about Yucca's, I think, personally, is that it comes from a region where they bring up the ingredients that are indigenous to the region. They learn, they grew up to cook with those ingredients. They love their land. Therefore, the land gives them the food. They become passionate about that and connected. And I think that's what part of what makes Yucca's so special is that you guys do food differently, and you do it with the ingredients from your hometown.
Exactly.
Yeah. So one of the biggest, I have a call. Okay, bring them up. One of the biggest specialties that you have is the cochinita pibil. We have a call first. Caller, are you on the line? No. Are they there? Okay. The cochinita pibil is tell me what it is.
Well, it's the most popular dish in the Yucatan, or one of the. It's pork in banana leaf. You put the banana leaf on the bottom, the pork, and then you add achiote spices, and you put more banana leaf.
Achiote, right?
Uh-huh.
Achiote.
Which is made out of the annatto seed.
Okay.
Traditionally, you dig a hole in your backyard and you put all the stuff in there, and you cover it with more banana leaves, and you cover it with rocks, and that's how you bake it all day long while you're out working.
You bake what? Wait.
The cochinita pibil.
Really?
The pork, yeah.
Wait.
Traditionally.
Wait.
Here in
Let's
the-
go back to that for
Here
a
in the
minute.
United States,
I
we
think
can't
that's
do that.
really interesting, though. So
It's like the original slow bake.
in the yard?
Yeah, you dig up the hole, you put the banana leaves, the pork, whatever, spices. You cover it, and then you cover it with rocks. And then you go off and do your farming, or, originally. Not too many people farm now, but.
Right.
And then when you come back from the fields, your food's ready. You
Wow,
just take the rocks
that
off,
is
and
incredible.
it's really.
Talk
of course,
about food from the earth. Like,
yeah.
seriously.
Well, you do build a fire. I forgot. I almost
we're-
forgot.
We're involved.
Yucatan is hot, but not that hot.
So it is one of your most popular dishes. So let's
Yes,
take a
this
look
is-
at this and let's.
And
all right.
then today we're presenting it with the traditional red onion garnish. Are you going to try it now?
Oh, I'm totally going to try it
All
right
right.
now. Please. Put food in front of me. It is so beautiful. We've taken So what it's presented with sliced avocado and red onion, diced red onion.
Yeah.
The pork is again, it's
It's slow baked.
slow baked. Oh my gosh.
12, 14 hours.
12, 14 hours.
So it's juicy, it's tender, falls off the bone,
Okay.
makes your mouth water.
Oh my god.
Go ahead and try it already.
Oh.
And then if you don't like bread, then, or if you need something gluten free, then you get a
And then
taco
oh my gosh,
and
so
a corn tortilla.
That is on like a hot dog roll. And it's really quite.
It's actually a steak roll.
a steak roll.
Yeah.
And it's really.
And then
Pork is so.
you can make it with French bread or like a baguette or a bolillo.
Well, the pork is really savory and spicy at the same time, and it has like it's like that this pork just it
Cooked with
melts.
love.
Yes, it melts on your. It melts as soon as I'm going in time. I'm going in time.
Leave some for the rest of the people.
I
Okay?
will. I will. Oh my god, ladies, that is absolutely fantastic. And you guys, your prices are really amazing. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of people ask us why we don't charge. Like you could charge more. And my mom's premise was that, yes, the doctors and the famous people come, but so do the gardeners and the cleaning ladies.
Oh my god, I love your
and
mom.
the single mothers. And so she says, I'm price pointing it so that everyone can eat my food.
That is, your mom is so special.
Yeah,
she's a special lady.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm so glad for your success. Now you also have a chili relleno, and
This is we call a nuevo relleno
Okay.
because we had vegetarians come in and they didn't want the egg and stuff. So we do grilled portobello, grilled tomato, onion, a little bit of cheese.
oh my god,
No egg batter on the outside.
none.
None. And then a very light tomato sauce.
Oh my gosh, I'm
On
digging
top.
in. But let's talk about the future, what it holds for Yuccas, because you guys are doing some amazing stuff.
Yucca.
Yuccas. Yuccas. You're doing a bus tour that I think that Margarita needs to step up to the mic and talk about right now.
Dun, da, da.
Well, we've met up with this exciting young guy that he does bus tours of LA, and he talked us into going into business with him. And we're going to start doing Yucca's bus tours,
Right.
where we take people on a tour bus around LA,
Right.
looking for things or eating at places where we like to eat, where we think that they would enjoy eating.
So you're going to reveal any of these places, or you have to do the bus tour? I knew it. Okay, and
It's
then
always a secret.
There's-
Even from location to location, you don't know where you're going.
really,
Yeah, it's just a complete
God, I love that kind of
scavenger
stuff.
hunt kind of feeling. You're like,
That
what's
is-
next? What's
that is
next?
so
Yeah.
fun. So you can sign up on your website.
No, but if you go to my Facebook page,
Okay.
Yucca's Restaurants, and join our e-club, then we'll send you all out. And then if you join the e-club this week, we're going to raffle off a bus tour and a ticket to everything else we're doing.
Okay, that's facebook.com/Yucca's Restaurant. You're also doing a culinary institute. When are you launching that?
Sunday, December 8th.
Okay, that's just amazing. What are you going to be teaching people?
Time for tamales. It's, it's
Really?
right in time for the holiday season.
Which, that's,
And it's it's going to be a small class, maximum 10.
okay.
We already have 4 people signed up, so we have 6 spaces left. And based on how that goes, and we're going to do more, teaching different things, but always small, so that we can pay attention to you and what you need, what you're getting, what you're not getting. And then after that, we have a meal. We sit down, we eat whatever we cooked.
How much are these classes?
Like $65, $75.
Okay.
But you get to, like for instance, the tamales, you get to take a dozen tamales home. You get to eat the tamales we prepared in advance for you,
Right.
with like a beer or whatever you want to drink.
Right.
Hang around, you wait, and then when your food is ready, the one that you made with your own 2 hands, then you take it home.
That sounds
So-
really great. And
Oh,
how
it's-
much was
it's-
a bus tour?
I don't remember.
Okay, well,
I
you
don't
can
think
find
we
out online,
finalized
right?
that with,
Okay.
with Secret City
All right,
Tours.
no problem. And you also have your first book coming out, correct?
Oh, yes.
I'm really excited about this. This is great. So tell us about it.
You want to talk?
Well, she's
I'll
the shy
just-
one.
I'll just
Dora,
say-
why are you bringing her in?
I know.
It's called Yucca's Recipes for Success.
That sounds great.
And we're going to just talk a little bit about things that motivated us, a little story attached to the cliche that we're talking about, and then basic recipe to go with that.
That's how you also are giving tips for success. Would you share a tip with us today
Sure.
for people that want to do this, that really
Okay.
have a passion?
The first one, Mom, first break all the rules.
What's that? First, break all the rules?
First, break all the rules. In other words, don't do what everybody else is doing. You do your thing. Don't worry if anybody else is doing it. If it's in you and you think it's worth doing, then do it.
Okay.
Don't wait till it's perfect. Just do it. So first, break all the rules. When my mom opened, everybody in Los Angeles was making pinto beans and mashing them and throwing a half pound of cheese on top.
Okay, I hate that.
She said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So she didn't. She stopped mashing them. Within a week or so of her doing that, Ruth Reichel, she used to be the editor of Gourmet
Right.
and the LA Times, New York Times, came and ate and wrote this whole article about the individuals, the beans, and how you pop them in your mouth and the flavor just explodes in your mouth. And so by breaking the rules, she was very successful in having people enjoy her food more.
I love that. I
So,
love the idea.
That's number one.
And that's fantastic. That's the greatest tip we can have. I know we have our couple from Bestia waiting outside, and we have to go, and we have to wrap up, but how can people get in touch with you? First of all, they can follow you on Twitter at
Yucca's LA.
At Yucca's LA. And on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Yucca's Restaurant.
Restaurants. 'Cause we have
Restaurants.
2 now.
Oh, that's right. Due in
And
Italian.
then we also have yucasla.com, which is our website.
YucasLA.com. And
And we'll put information up there on the specials page.
Okay,
How to
great.
Contact us about everything we're doing. Come on down, meet us.
Okay.
We just love to talk to people.
I want my team to come in here and start eating because this food is amazing. Everybody come in here and start eating right now. We have up next, yes, everybody. I want to thank both of you for taking the time and just sharing your love and your passion in your food with us today. Breaking bread with people it just means that we're expressing love for one another. So thank you so much for expressing your love with us today.
Glad to be here. And I'm
And-
so excited I'm going to get to meet the Bestia people because I've heard so much about them.
Is it Bestia or Bestia? What is it?
In Spanish, it's Bestia. I don't know if they use
in
the
Italian
Spanish.
it's bestia because
Yeah.
it means beast in Italian.
Yeah.
So,
So
well,
maybe it's them.
they're gonna come in.
Whatever it is, they're doing it right.
They
So
are doing it right.
it's
They
good.
are, and we're gonna meet the couple, the couple behind Bestia or Bestia, coming up next right after this song. So stay with us. Ori and Genevieve, the beautiful couple from downtown LA, will be with us right here on the Pure Pollino Show. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is Pure Pollino. My name is Michelle Pollino. We're having a lot of fun today. The ladies from Yucca's, I've been calling it Yucca's, and I apologize. It's the same thing with the name Bestia, which is actually Bestia. I was wrong. I can be wrong every once in a while. Right now, we have the husband and wife team up from Bestia, executive chef Ori Menashe. Is that right?
Yeah.
And pastry chef Genevieve Gerges. We were saying Genevieve Gorgeous because she is. They're a really cute couple. They are. They're adorable. Chef Ori maintains an aggressive house-cured meats program at Bestia with over 60 different forms of charcuterie. The guy loves his meat. No pun intended. I'm not kidding. He also loves his dough. Every day he raises his own yeast culture, which he uses to bake the restaurant's sourdough pan à la base, used for the pizza dough, which rises and falls over a 24-hour cycle prior to being composed and baked in a wood-burning stove, or wood-burning oven, actually. Let's not leave out the co-owner and pastry chef, Genevieve, who prepares a plethora of desserts from scratch using the finest raw ingredients. I'm going to get this right. Such as aquilero rice. Am I right?
Yeah, that's
Did it-
Acquarello.
Acquarello. It's an Italian rice aged 18 months. She uses it for her al dente rice pudding. In addition, this is something I really do want to talk about, and we have some pictures as well about the design of the place. I love the design of the place. Genevieve is partially responsible for the design of Bestia. Is that correct?
Yes, me and actually a really good friend named Greg Blyer. He's an awesome designer.
Right.
We did it together, but he was able to take my mishmash stuff and actually help me make it a little more cohesive. So I really want to give him a lot of credit because he's really amazing. He's one of these quiet guys that you think, can he do this? And then when he does it, you're like, wow, he's super talented. So,
well, I don't know if anybody's ever seen pictures of it. BestiaLA.com is the website. If you can go to it, Google it. It's really it's an industrial space with some wood touches and light fixtures, and then you have the smells of the Italian food. You have a beautiful wood burning oven smells. It makes it feel homey yet industrial, which is it's very kind of hip, and it fits into downtown LA, but it also creates its own unique space.
We really tried hard to do that. I think that comes with the fact that everything that we put in the restaurant was kind of how me and Ori are. And then along with Greg, we were able to just try to translate that to a little bit more refined so that it wasn't as clumsy or rustic, but it basically was like people that came in, they're like, this is kind of your apartment, but not.
That's fantastic. I would imagine that. And how did you guys first meet, first of all?
So we met at a restaurant 9 years ago called La Terza. That was an Italian restaurant that
Jason Trevi, right?
Jason Trevi.
Yes, he was on the show a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
I used to be the salad guy there.
Oh, really?
And
by the way, welcome to the show. I don't know that I said that. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
And for probably a full year, I've been trying to go out with her.
Oh, really? So it wasn't love at first sight? Because that was my second question.
No,
for me it was.
Not.
For me it was. For her, definitely it wasn't. After a year of me playing, the good guy, bad guy, I didn't know what she liked. She ended up liking me.
Oh, really? So what was the?
It was the good guy.
It was the good guy.
It was definitely the good guy.
What was the moment, Genevieve? I love the moment.
I remember the moment. There was a moment where we were out and there was a couple people that had drank too much, and I was trying to get them to not, get in the car, and he started helping out.
Oh, that was it.
Like,
yeah.
Hey, instead of him saying lay off, who cares about these people, I saw like this heart where he actually was concerned about people. And he always played he was always the bad boy chef of the kitchen, going out with a different girl every week. And then I see the side where I saw in his eyes he truly wanted to make sure that everyone was safe. And I realized this guy has this really nurturing side. And he actually is like that very paternal. Throughout the restaurant now, he's very paternal father, like caring side. And then he wanted to cook for me in the middle of the night.
Oh,
because we get off work really late.
That would have sealed the fate for me. Yeah.
I was looking for the right one.
Uri, you're so intense. You are so intense. You have to be a Scorpio. Is he a Scorpio?
No, Pisces.
Are you?
Which is surprising.
He's got Scorpio on his chart. Trust me on this. He's got it. He's too intense. Look at him. I mean, I can see that when he wants something, I might be like, I think we just found what is essential in a restaurant. He's very passionate. You can see it in his eyes.
He's very passionate.
He knows what he wants, and he waits patiently, and he keeps on going. Is this correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, see?
Don't worry, he was with a lot of girls in between on the year. He wasn't having fun, but he maybe had me in the corner of his eye, waiting for the moment.
You need to have some type of experience before you meet the right one, I think.
I think you're right. I think you have to go through life a little bit.
So then later on, you don't look for it. I'm fully satisfied.
You're fully satisfied.
Exactly.
Okay, there it is. It's done. So you guys, how did Bestia come about? Was it a plan? I mean, after you guys met at La Trava, right?
La Terza.
La Terza.
It was a 10-year, process. I've been working crazy hours from 9 a.m. in the morning to 12 o'clock at night, and I've been doing that for full 10 years till I actually felt like I was ready to do something like this, and I basically made sure that I was ready. My parents told me 6 years ago, let's go, open your own restaurant, don't work for other people. I said, I'm not ready. I got to do this right. So now every obstacle that I have, I know exactly what to do.
When you say you know exactly what to do, is that because you waited?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I learned from other people's mistakes and their good side too.
What is the biggest thing you've been through many restaurants? You worked at Angelina Osteria, and you learned a lot from chef there.
I learned a ton from each chef.
Yes.
I took their good qualities, and then their bad qualities I didn't take. Now, most of them didn't have that many bad qualities, but let's say Nancy Silverton. She walks into the restaurant. First person she says hello to is the dishwasher. And it's amazing. She'll
Yeah.
go through all
Every
the people
person.
in the
She
restaurant.
goes and says, "I hear this about Nancy all the time, and I hope to have her on my show." Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And she's amazing. So she has that type of family-oriented restaurant. So people work really well for her, and it's natural. It's not fake. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very, very similar, and Genevieve's exactly the same.
We say hi to every person. We make sure if someone looks like the dishwasher to the prep cook, whoever looks like they're having an off day, we'll pull them aside and say, "Are you okay? Do you need to go home? Do you need something to eat? Are you not?" We always check on everyone. We really, really care about every single person in our restaurant.
I think that says a lot about. I think it says a lot about your success. I think success comes to those who value others, and I think it's one of the keys to having your own restaurant, having your own business. Like Dora was saying, there was a value in her mother's cooking, and everybody saw it, recognized it, and everybody that worked there was a value in it. And they see the value in it, and they express the value. And you guys do that as well, Nancy Silverton. Every big chef that I know does that.
Yeah.
They value every single person in that kitchen.
We can't do it alone.
Right. And you're there nonstop. I mean, what's that like? How long have you guys been married?
Now 3 years.
3 years. And how long has the restaurant been open?
11 months.
11? What? It's very.
It's fresh.
Now it is very fresh. So how did it? How did it come about? Like you say your parents were pushing you to open up a restaurant. And you waited and waited and waited. Is it the moment you and Genevieve said? Did you just say, "Okay, I'm ready to do this"? Are you ready to do this? Is that how it happened?
I think probably like 4 years ago, I told Genevieve that I was ready, or 5 years ago, and she's like, "I don't think you're ready."
So we now know who rules it. There it is.
No, it's we do things together,
Right.
And she definitely was very confident with my ability, but it's always good to have a little bit more experience before you actually put your own money into something.
That was my
and
next
you take
question.
a big chance. And
Yeah.
to me, it was a big chance. It's or it works, or I'm flying back to Israel and I'm forcing her to come with me.
Well, the thing is, it's one of the most failed businesses that is restaurant business. It is the most failed business that you could ever start. So you're right. It is one of the most dangerous things you could ever do is open up a restaurant.
Yeah.
And making movies is easier than opening up a restaurant. So, and with that said, what did you guys do for financing? Did you save up? Did you get out loans? Did you say, okay, here's how much it's going to cost. Here's where we can get this money, and that's how we're going to do it.
So we have a big investor.
Okay.
That he's a partner with us, 50-50, and then we have smaller investors. The smaller investors, my business partner brought some, and then we brought some. And these are people that ate at Angelina Osteria, and I cooked for them, some good friends of mine. So people had confidence in us.
Yeah, and that's really what it takes.
Yeah.
For investors to
And,
step up to
and,
the plate.
and we took a loan as well.
It's not easy to open a restaurant. We were either going to do that or open up something rather small, like Yuka's, which, by the way, is our favorite place in LA. It is.
Yeah, give him a shout out.
Oprah, I heard earlier, is the best burrito ever.
It really is.
It's really, really tasty.
We get it weekly.
Yeah, it's one of the places that you go to and you go back to again
All
and again.
the time.
Yeah.
It's all about quality. The quality is great.
And so let's talk a little bit about the quality at Bestia. You guys are obviously you love to cure your meat. This is big for you, meats, and Bestia means beast in Italian. It is obviously a house full not only of pasta but of meats. You are from Israel, correct?
Yeah.
So tell me about the flavors that go into your foods.
So it's Italian flavoring, but I use familiar spices to me from back home. So it is very Mediterranean, and I could play with those ingredients.
What are some of the ingredients?
So a lot of saffron, rosemary, fennel.
A lot of fennel in the
I
meats.
started to make salami with cumin seed.
Oh,
where,
nice.
There's no real rules.
Right.
It's basically my food, and I don't know if it's Italian or not, but people say it's Italian.
It's Italian with a little Israeli in it.
If you have pasta on the menu, then it's Italian. But I'm definitely, my background in the culinary world is only Italian restaurants.
Yes, and that's really where you felt comfortable. And then you bring in your own culture. This is what I find interesting about chefs and what they bring to the table. Every chef has an experience, and then they match that experience with what they grew up with. They could be the same, or they could be different, like you have experience in Italian restaurants, but you bring your Israeli culture into that.
Yeah.
And it becomes this amazing fusion of love and passion, and it ends up on somebody's plate, and you got to be like thrilled.
I don't like saying the word fusion.
Oh, sorry. I hate it too. I hate it too.
I really don't
right.
like it because it's not fusion. It's
Right.
very, very Italian.
Similar. It's very-
But it could be more Southern Italian, where they use a lot of chilies and garlic, and it's more intense. So
Right.
my food is very, very intensely spiced.
It's intense like you.
Ex-
I mean,
ex-
freaking intense,
Exactly.
man.
I am. I am.
But I'm
I
very
am. That's how I get people to move in the restaurant.
Well, tell me, what is it like? We only have a few minutes left. What is it like living and working together 24/7? And I want to ask you too, before we go, about your pastries, because I hear they're really off the charts.
I'll let her.
Okay.
Wait, which question?
Well, let's go with the pastries. Like, tell me about some of your. What is your favorite on the menu right now?
It's hard to say because I don't really have a favorite.
What do you love to make?
I really like making all of them for different reasons.
This time of year. I'm trying to
probably-
focus it for you.
Probably, what do I look like I enjoy making the most?
The rice pudding?
I like making whatever is new because I like moving on to something new. So probably the rice pudding right now, but I'm always asking Ori, what about this? What about that? And I'm always looking for the next thing. The next thing,
best, yeah.
Yeah, the
No, I
next
hear
thing
it.
to put on the menu. I change it quite often. Probably every couple weeks there's at least an item gets switched out with something new. So
Yeah. Well, that's the basis for what you do. I mean, your creativity drives you, doesn't it? Your passion.
That's what makes me happy. So
We're lucky that we're very seasonal. So she has the ability to change things all the time on the menu. So it's basically, I don't think there's one dish that she enjoys more or less. I think it's the enjoyment of creating something new every time.
Yeah, that's part of doing what you do. I mean, you're literally on your feet, probably 17 hours a day.
I'm 17 hours a day.
Easy.
I'm more like 13 to 14.
It's so crazy.
I'm a wimp.
Well, I think you both are doing an amazing job. We are going to head down to Bestia this Sunday night. We're going to be in your restaurant, so I'm pretty excited about it. And we are wrapping up the show right now. Oh, we have to go really quickly. Oh, it's over. Okay. See, this is what happens. All right, so let me get my paperwork together. You guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And don't forget, everybody, it's Bestia LA. I'm going to be calling it that, so just have to
I like
bear with
Bestia.
me. You like Bestia?
Yeah.
Okay, I got Ori's approval. So Chef Ori said yes, then I can go with it. BestiaLA.com is their website. You can follow them on Twitter at BestiaLA, Facebook /BestiaLA. Yuka's on Facebook /Yuka's Restaurants with an S. Also at Twitter, Yuka's LA. Follow the show at Facebook.com Pure Pollino, on Twitter at Pure Pollino. I wanted to share this with you. I read it on Facebook today. Life is too short to work with or around people with whom you wouldn't want to share a meal with. Take it with you into the weekend. Enjoy it. I love you all. Thank you for being here.
We get high in back seats.